This gaming setup will inspire you to improve yours. So sit back, take some notes, and let's get started. All right, so the first setup, the age is 13. Before I was just gaming on my bed with my laptop, I set up like this because I like my setup to be minimalistic and productive. I started saving money since I was 8 using birthday and Christmas money. My plan is to save enough to buy a PC. Wow, for 13, bro, the mindset diff, man, bro's actually kind of sick, man. Look at this. For 13, a laptop setup, pretty awesome. You know what I'm saying? So I also like that he put his mic arm on his bed and ran the cable down his bedpost. Like you can't even see where the cable is on that. That's actually super clean. I believe this is the underside of his desk. No cable management there. The controllers are on the left side. I'm assuming like the Xbox is in one of the drawers or something like that. This is really cool, man. I'd recommend if you have this kind of desk, like to pull the desk off the wall a little bit and put all these cables on the back of this desk, because like you've got like a little hidden piece of wood here that you can put all of your cable management behind and not even see on the floor. It's honestly pretty clean. But I also love the blue and orange theme. I'm seeing this a lot with like younger people's setups. They're really liking this orange and blue kind of theme. Yeah, so overall I would rate this a 6 out of 10 or 6.5 out of 10. You did a really good job with like the lights behind the monitors. You did a good job mounting your laptop there. You got dual monitors, you know, and it looks really good. For 13, this is awesome. All right, moving on. We're gonna go on to Emmett. Before it was just one monitor with the same PC, and I had a hand-me-down desk and a 5 below mouse. I like it set up like this because I saw other people on YouTube have it like this, and I really liked it. I also saved up for doing extra work, being in extra movies and TV shows. Was my plan in the future to upgrade to a 144 hertz monitor instead of 60, maybe get some LEDs and a clock, etc. His age is 12, by the way. This is a 12-year-old setup, which is interesting. I mean, this is pretty good for 12 years old. I respect the Green Day. I respect it. Green Bay Packers, man. Good shit. I respect you. What's the point of the Mountain Dew bottles up here? Like, maybe it's like decoration, but what I would do if I were you, like if you wanted to make this decoration and it was like a piece you wanted to collect or something, I would fill them up with like water and put dye in them. I love the aesthetic you're going for. I've never seen an Alex drawer. If I'm being completely honest, chat, I've never seen an Alex drawer in this colorway. Has anybody seen an Alex drawer in this colorway before? I've never seen it. On top of that, I really love this floating shelf here. Overall, this setup is great for 12 years old. There's not really much I can really say. I mean, obviously maybe remounting your power strip on the back of this Alex drawer or something up there. I like that you did a raceway there by having this power strip hanging. And yeah, cable management's not awful. I like how you did these single clips for the stuff you needed. Overall, it looks really good. I think this is probably a solid 7. I love the aesthetic he's building, like this wood on white. I really love the aesthetic he's trying to. I see what he's going for. Thank you for submitting to the setup, Emmett. This is a great setup. Thank you. We're gonna go on a Kaio's setup now. Kaio's setup caught my eye. He didn't have any info. Look at this setup, man. Right off the rip, we're going hard. This is already an insane build. Holy crap, man. The aesthetic, the lighting, everything is just perfect. Like down to a T. This setup is amazing. So dissecting this right off the rip, he's running this like neon city theme with this pink and blue vibe. And then on top of that, he's got some speakers that are beautifully placed besides a controller, which he has on a little stand. I think that also charges as well. On top of that, he's running a keyboard mouse. I think it's like the Model O and maybe an RK61 or a GK61, something like that. On top of that, this PC is beautifully built and it's a very interesting case style. I haven't really seen it anywhere, but what I would say is activate your damn Windows. You got this beautiful setup. You don't even have Windows activated, man. It's $30, okay? It's $30, man. That's all it is, okay? Just go activate your damn Windows. Overall, though, the setup is beautiful. I love the lighting, the way that you built the lighting, everything like that. All of this is beautifully placed. I also think your desk is beautiful too. Like it looks like a thicker version of an IKEA desk. I don't know how you did that, but yeah. And then on top of that, you got like a headphone hanger that's drilled into the wall, which I think is really a beautiful place as well. Nice. I don't see a single cable in sight. I mean, this is a beautiful setup. Like I just love the aesthetic and everything else. It's beautiful setup. So overall, I'd rate that 9 out of 10. Thank you so much for submitting. And also his cable management's really solid too. He's running a Sigma rack as well. I think it looks really good. Luke is up next. This setup is beautiful. Okay, it's a productivity setup, and not all my setups that I feature on the show have to be a gaming setup, but I really love this setup, and that's why I want to submit it. He had basically a bad setup before, bad desk, old TV, no laptop, etc. This is why he wanted to pick a good quality setup, considering he had a bad one before this. I also heavily invested in a college studying marketing and emphasis on accounting, and this setup gets the job done. Perfect. My plans in this setup is to future upgrade my MacBook to allow more compatibility with my iPhone and a smooth smoother workflow overall. Just looking at this is beautiful, man. I love the aesthetic, bro. Like, this is insane. I love this wood and felt a mouse pad with like the coaster as well. He wants to get a MacBook, but he's running an HP laptop instead right now, and a little bit of an Xbox for some light gaming. Overall, I love these mini lano leaves to come off from the side of the monitor. I think it just adds this extra aesthetic that before you didn't have. And I also like the shelving too. But overall, this is really, really clean, and I think you've done an insane job. Thank you for submitting, Luke. This is a great setup, dude. Mason is up next. Let me pull up his info here in a second. I always loved having a clean setup, and I wanted to try to build one with the help of my dad. I started out with a laptop on my bed. I took some time to get myself a desk and move on. My parents helped me out for paying for the setup, and I also saved about $3K for my previous birthdays and Christmases to build a PC and an audio setup. My parents got me the rest. My plans of the future to be a successful streamer like my boy GutzyAiden. I'm not even a successful streamer. Come on, let's be serious. Thank you for the kind words, brother. And this, by the way, is an age 15 setup. This is awesome. Off the rip, I really love the way that you built this setup. For 15, this is already great. You have a really good start. KO management is beautiful. I love how you have these raceways here. He's also running an Artisan with some grips on a G Pro, which I like. Off the rip, I love the setup. I love the aesthetic you're going for, but I think that you have a conflicting color scheme, and this is just my opinion, but you've got purple and blue in most of your setup with the PC lights and stuff, but then your setup is black and white, and then your keyboard and stuff is black and gray and black and white. If you're gonna do that, I would say just move all of these lights to black and white, and your setup would completely fit, and it would all fit smoothly. I think this is a great setup nonetheless. I mean, I love that you have the shelves and the personality. I think you've done a really good job of making everything fit and feel comfortable. On top of that, I love the hanging plants on both sides. I think you did a really good job with that. On top of that, G Fuel shelf, nice. We know you like G Fuel and being energized. And then we got, you know, some pop figures up here. I think for a 15-year-old setup, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Thank you for submitting. And yeah, moving on. And on to the last setup for this episode. 2 years ago, I never had a laptop or PC. When I finally got myself a laptop, it was faulty, and I ended up getting the money back. So I thought I would try out a full desktop. Ever since then, I've been upgrading my setup, but I just had some other monitors, and I paid for my setup using money I had from birthday and Christmases. In the future, I hope I can get a bigger desk. As you can see, my monitors go off the side of the desk, and yeah, I hope that I get a new desk and setup soon. All right, let's take a look at this setup. Now, I do like how you made this custom sleeving for the back of your PC. I think that's dope. The only problem I don't like about that is that your PC fan airflow is going through this, you know, it's exhausting air into that. But I also like they have a keyboard cable that goes into your desk. But yeah, I love this wall behind your setup. I love the background or the wallpapers to your setup as well. I think this is a beautiful wallpaper with what you're building. There's not really much I can tell him, right? Like this setup is really nice, and I love the way that he placed his mic. I think overall it's not awful. I would say this is probably like I want to go 6 out of 10. Everything is solid in the setup. I think you've done a really good job with the aesthetic. And yeah, if you enjoyed that video, watch this one next, and don't forget to follow the Twitch down below. See you there.